Well, no, that's not it. You have to consider all of the evidence in the case, because they start with showing in the year 2018, when he signed this ATF form and allegedly lied on the form, he was a crack addict. He started out the year with a stripper he had met in a club in New York. They went to different places in New York over the course of the year. Went out to the Chateau Marmont, the famous place where John Belushi died in Hollywood, where she said Hunter used to make his own crack cocaine because he didn't trust his dealers. Then he moves back to New York and moves back to the Washington area. And he fills out this form eventually in Delaware. He goes in to buy a gun and says he's not an addict at the time he fills out the form. Well, 2 days after that, prosecutor introduces text messages showing that he's admitting that he was using crack with Bo's widow. And his wife, his ex-wife, also says that he was a crack addict. Now, this is a Yale-educated lawyer. He's not a dumb guy. And when he answers the question on the form, are you an addict, or are you using illegal drugs or a controlled substance? That's obviously a yes answer to that. I think a rather Yale-educated lawyer would know that he's a drug addict. He says no to that. That is a federal crime punishable by 5 years in prison.
All right, Paul, just one thing. I totally get it. Most people will. You don't have to be a lawyer or Yale-educated to get it. But you know better than to just put someone who's suffering with extreme addiction to just make it all about their brain, Paul. You know it isn't. You know that their brain is completely warped when they're that deep into the disease and drugs. And Mark, that takes me to you, which is how much potential is there for the defense to make a case to what seems like somewhat of a sympathetic audience? One of my producers was telling me that one of the jurors seemed emotionally worked up today. That, listen, he's a smart guy, but not when he's on crack, and he does not think he had as a problem at that time when he's filling out the form. How likely?
Well, look, this Loyola educated lawyer will tell you that you've got jurors, more than half of them, who have close family members or associates who have substance abuse problems. Mm-hmm. I don't know anybody really who doesn't. And if you do, you know for a fact that when somebody's in the throes of this, they can almost always inevitably be in denial. So that's number one on the facts. This is the most over-the-top prosecution I've seen since Trump in state court here in Manhattan. And number two, legally, I don't know how you can strip someone of a constitutional right post-Heller of the Second Amendment by answering a question. I just don't see it. There are courts that have already invalidated this kind of restriction. Even if he's convicted, I think this case won't stand up on appeal. But having said that, I don't even know why this case has been brought. I mean, it's really the most ridiculous waste of federal prosecution. Well, I know why. We've got a Trump-appointed special counsel who has decided that he's going to prosecute this guy. Yeah. Just like we had a former here in Manhattan.
He was appointed special counsel by the Biden administration. Okay, they could have brought somebody else in. He was appointed by the Biden administration. Okay? In any event, the reason they have to prosecute this case is we don't want crack addicts having weapons, particularly a 32.
The reason he's being prosecuted,
That's why this law was passed with the support of Democrats and Republicans.
This was the work of a guy who got pressured by the House in order to do the dirty work that they wanted to tit for tat politically. You know it, I know it.
This was a law that was passed during the crack epidemic when there was a crisis across America by people being addicted to crack. I was a DA at the time, and I remember the violence that was going on in Brooklyn, New York.
I was a defense lawyer at the time.
So there you have
Listen.
it. That's why we have the
It's,
law.
Multiple things can be
yes,
true.
and this
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of News Nation's fact-driven coverage.